Good morning and welcome to Let's Talk Stroke. I am your host and stroke survivor, Jerry Wall. And this morning, the show is going to be about the severity of stroke and how therapy plays a big role in it. Yeah, Musong Kim will be here and Jerry Chapman will be here and we'll be all talking about that. So please ask questions, make comments, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel called Let's Talk Stroke. And then any questions, please ask. I mean, this is all about everybody else getting involved. So please sit back and we'll have a great time.
Good morning.
Good morning. And Jerry, a little dark.
Everybody, YouTube
A little
world.
what?
Dark.
Oh,
No,
sorry.
no, it's no big deal. I mean,
You have to have someone from the dark side here, Jerry.
absolutely.
Oh,
Oh,
There you go. There's that beautiful face.
Oh,
Wow.
it's no fun when you got to compliment me there.
Oh,
It's
dang it.
no fun at all.
That's right. Look at all these guys.
You should have heard him, everybody, before we got on here. He was just ramming insults down to me. Like crazy.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Good
How you
morning,
been anyway? It's
everybody.
been a couple of weeks since I seen you.
Yeah.
You.
So,
Who's
Musong,
on? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And you know what?
no
Good
therapy
morning,
this week?
everyone.
Yeah. Good morning.
There's always therapy, man.
Oh,
Always.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You're probably the one who's more likely to give out the therapy. You're so damn good. That's why we have you here.
Exactly. I think the topic was like the severity of stroke. I mean, regarding therapies. So, with my research and my experience, therapy may last weeks to few months when you not only have a TIA or a very minor ischemic stroke or moderate to severe stroke. Therapy can last 6 months to years, with some patients undergoing a lifetime of rehab. That's what I feel for me, because coming up on 15 years, I still go to therapy. I'm going Monday and Wednesday, and it just shows if you don't go, I'm so out of shape. So I've been going, and it's been great. I'm learning things that um, I thought I knew all those types of therapies, but I'm still learning new things. There's better equipment out there, So as time goes on, Musong, it does. I mean, I know when I talked to you, real close to when you had your stroke.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Sunday was my 2 years.
Oh, Sunday. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Congrats.
Yeah, congratulations.
I don't know congratulations in order, but yes, I made it through 2 years.
Or way to stick with it.
Yeah.
How does that sound to you?
All right, that sounds better.
Of course
Juicy.
it does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad to see that. Please ask questions about anything, therapy-wise or what we're going through. Because when you have a stroke, I'm sure everybody knows. Well, at least for me, it was. My life turned to an open book. From
Yeah.
I think I figured with therapy, I was sent to therapy, and I have trouble with my limbs, right, stretching them out.
right.
But I was always, for about 2 months till I got fed up with it, I was always doing the same exercises, right?
Right.
I could do them at home. I got all the exercise equipment at home. And I said, come on back for $75 every half an hour. I'm going, geo. But no, just,
Yeah.
I don't think some therapists, so-called, know what they're doing. But
Yeah.
maybe some in America does, but in Canada, we're out there chasing polar bears. They don't know what's going on. And
Yeah.
it pisses me off. It really does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you have to kind of keep on exploring like different type of therapists because everybody has their own way of doing things.
Yeah.
Kind of what I've experienced. Even like speech, I'm back at speech therapy, and I think my current one right now has different perspective and different ways of doing things. So it's more comforting to have different perspective on people's how they do their therapy based on your severity of your stroke.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. I like with mine. I finally found after all these years and last few years, I go to this one therapist. She's a neuro uh, doctor of therapy, and she really has taught me new things that I am completely. Um, I'm really happy to see the different types of therapy, which I didn't think I can. Not the same old thing. That I'm
Yeah.
not doing the same thing, and take your papers home um, and just practice that. It's
Yeah.
and I don't have some of the equipment that they have, and it's all new equipment they have. I'll be getting videos tomorrow to show some of the ones that I'm using, which I can't wait to see if anybody else uses the same type of stuff or have used it. Um,
Right. That'd be cool. That'd be great to see.
yeah, anything you can help somebody else out with, that's
Yeah.
what it's about. But glad to hear you going back to speech therapy. Not that you seem like you have a problem, but
It's not going to hurt you, Jerry.
Yeah.
It's
I
not going to
went
hurt.
back because of my two things. Just to see where my cognition is, cognition, just to kind of get a new baseline, and also, my weak vocal cord, it's got some paralysis there that
right,
I'm trying to strengthen again because my voice always sounds fatigued. It may not come across that way, but it is.
What do they do for that, Misan? If you can feel the weak vocal cord, how do they straighten that? The vocal cord.
Well, that's what I'm going to find out today.
Oh, you haven't been there for that yet.
Yep. Today will be some strengthening exercises. Right now, she's got me, which is very interesting because there's a certain way to cough. Like if you have a weakness in your, like if you never like paid attention to like how you cough to strengthen strengthen your vocal cords. It's a way to like cough. It's not about clearing your throat, but
Yeah.
I guess the cough comes from your stomach, from your diaphragm, which I've never practiced. Because when I was in inpatient, they were so worried about hygiene because they didn't know how bad the severity of my vocal cords, so they had to play it really safe. So it was more about hygiene, keep hydrated, blah blah blah. But in reality of it is that, come to find out, it's actually the paralysis on the vocal cord. That's why it sounded like that.
huh? Interesting to know that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm working on this new coughing exercise, like trying to cough to really, I guess, strengthen the vocal cords.
right,
Because right now, the right side, the non-effective side of the vocal cord, is making up the difference to close that gap better. That's why I'm able to talk, but I'm so fatigued because it's like the unaffected side is working so much harder, trying to be able to talk and without getting fatigued. But
right.
I
Wow,
always feel like my vocal cords are just like strained. So it slows me down on the way I talk, what I want to say immediately. It's not as quick as like I want it to be. So I want to
right.
work on that. Yeah.
Do they make you? Do they let you, or do they tell you to drink like some kind of lemon juice or something to help you out? Any of that? Any kind of stuff?
Not yet. No. It's all
They
about
even mentioned
strengthening right now. So
Yeah,
they even
today,
mentioned an operation or anything for it.
the getting Botox or something on it.
Because my voice, when I first had my stroke, it was like you couldn't hear me. It was like a low whisper.
Yeah.
And I went to my specialist. They were going to operate, and he says if I was one of his offsprings, he wouldn't let me get the surgery because it would come back by itself, and it did.
Yeah.
So that was
wow,
pretty good. So I
wow.
just wondered. So
Yeah, interesting. And they suggested that for you, Jerry?
Yes. Yeah. It was see that they're gonna put 2 screws in where my vocal box was or whatever, and they're hoping that it would like vibrate so the sound would come out. So,
Wow.
but he just said don't do it. And in 6 months' time, it came back just like this. I can still tell if I'm tired of talking. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was. Well, you heard me, Jay. I sound hoarse and everything like that. So
Yeah. Now, so they with cognitive impairments. So do they suggest you go to a neuropsychologist, therapy, and cognitive rehab?
For me,
Yeah, I just wonder since uh, talking about the cognitive part of stroke.
yeah, we're just getting into that too. But it's more about, when I had my evaluation for to create a new baseline with the
And
therapy that
that
I'm going to do with her, is
right,
that there was some deficits of like how I process the information and how I react to it, respond
right,
to it. So I have some issues with that. It's not terrible, but it's something that I know I need to work on.
right.
So I want to get better at that. So I want to make every effort to see if I could get better at making quicker decisions.
Right,
Yeah. And being able to articulate that better and faster
right,
is what
right.
I'm going to work on.
Because every time I go to the evaluation, biggest thing is therapy goals. What do I want to work there? My
Yeah.
functional independence, walking. Um, that's pretty much the biggest thing. Long-term goals, 3-month goals. Is that part of your member? Do they do that?
They do that for the
Yeah,
speech.
yeah. Wow, that's good to hear that. That's and thank you for
Someone has a
making
lot of
comments, ask
trauma,
questions.
Steven.
But let's see
Relax
here.
the throat. Yeah. Relaxing the throat. Like when you don't have any control over it's like your throat muscles. It's
Yeah,
like you have control over your body, which you don't have much control over. Like it's the same concept. It's hard to that's why I can't like cough. When I first started doing that with her, she's like, it sounds like you're clearing your throat, not coughing. And I'm like, what?
what?
yeah.
Yeah, that's what she heard. And I understood what she was saying. Because when I cough, it was like more of a clearing cough, not a actual cough that
Yeah.
came from your stomach. I'm like, I've never had to learn to do that. So it's pretty difficult if you think about it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Trying to cough from your diaphragm. I'm like,
Right.
I've never had to learn that. So it's all these weird things that you kind of have to kind of adapt to and see if it could get better.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's yeah. I've never had a. At least I never remember doing that. The coughing and the
Yeah. Yeah, it's
clearing
new.
the throat.
I think that's some of the things that I discovered is like some of the severity of like how bad my stroke was and trying to adapt the recovery rehab based off of that. Once you
Right.
discover how bad those were,
Yeah.
how bad your stroke was.
Right. Right. And Jerry, you're really coming along. I mean, I don't know how many years it's been when you used to motivate. No, yeah, when you motivate. I mean, when we talked, and then you said you have to go work out or something.
Yeah, yeah,
The bike
yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
You did like an
I work
hour.
out on the bike for at least 2 hours a day, and
That's awesome.
it's slowed down now because my muscles, the nerves in my leg on my affected side, I don't know if they're tightening up, but the pain, it's so hard to move my leg and I'm like, if you understand the yin yang effect, this side of my body is affected and this side of my head is affected.
Yeah.
And I feel like in this right there, I feel like it's a jab in the side of my head all the time. it kind of, but it kind of affects my working out. But every day, as long as you're getting up there, doesn't matter whether it's 15 minutes or 2 hours, whatever. Thing is, get out of bed and try it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which if you do, you're not admitting defeat. You're just saying, "Come on, mother, I'll go you now." Just do what you got to do, right?
Yeah.
Never say die around this business. There's too
Yeah.
many guys that kick your ass if you do around here. Like Moose Song, he's an animal here. So, but yeah, I'm really impressed by you two.
I
Just,
try. I try.
There's Mr. Loomis over there. He's a monster.
Yeah.
He
Absolutely.
is.
Yeah. And I'm
He
glad
is.
that
He
he
is a monster.
videotapes himself doing that, because it does motivate you when I see that. And Musang, did that a lot. Tara, there you are.
What's that?
Yeah.
Morning.
Tara, is it?
What were
Yeah.
you saying, Jerry?
What's that?
Let's see. Gosh darn it! When I say I forgot.
Get Tara over here. We miss you,
You were
Tara.
saying hey Tara. You were saying hi to Tara.
Yes. Let me
Tara.
be able to, because okay. Yeah. Tara, let me ask you, because I could send a link right to you here.
Come on, Tara.
Yeah, I see your email here. I appreciate it. I know you had some. Okay. Yeah, the whole entire time, but I will send you a link here. And Tara, feel free to pop on, because I know I sent you the message earlier.
Oh, no.
What's that? Let's see.
For me?
Oh, there we go.
Even that will be interesting to hear about your Botox treatment if you actually do the injections. I've heard about that. So maybe one day, if it doesn't get better, I might have to.
Yes.
I might have to do that. So I'll be in touch, Stephen, to collaborate
available, Jay. Sorry.
on what you have found out about the Botox treatment for the throat.
Yeah, interesting.
It's been like 2 years, and it's one of the things that bothers the heck out of me.
Right. Well, we'll see if it works.
Yeah.
There she is.
Hey,
we are.
Hey
sunshine.
guys.
Hey,
Hey.
sweetheart. How are you?
Hey
Good
guys.
morning.
Well, we don't exist
Morning.
now that Moose Song's here. She loves Moose Song. So,
I love all you guys.
thank you.
Yeah, thanks for popping on
Well,
here.
we love you. We love
yeah,
you.
absolutely. Absolutely. Now I feel like I can start my day, right?
Yeah,
Yep. All right.
Yeah. You've got a presentation you have to make, and
I do. It has been a busy day. It has
Yeah.
definitely been a busy day. I saw your email. I've been nonstop since early this morning. So
wow.
yeah. But this definitely just verifies that it's just going to be a wonderful day.
Oh, awesome stuff.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
we were talking about therapy and stuff, and that, for you, I know we've talked a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm so
actually,
jealous.
yeah, I was feeling left out. No, I'm just playing. Yeah. So
You're never left out. You're never left out.
I'm just going to talk just a little bit because I feel like I talk all the time.
Go
So
for it.
I actually am just in vision therapy. And I do that 12 weeks at a time and then follow up with Dr. Lott. I think that I've talked about her and Amy on this show a little bit. I'm actually getting ready to finish my 12-week session and follow up with Dr. Lott at Bellevue Specialty Eye Clinic. She's located in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. And Amy, my therapist, where I go once a week, is located in Jackson, Mississippi. And at first it was really taxing, but I've gotten in the groove, so to speak. But I don't know if I've mentioned I know that I've talked about my stroke glasses, and Jerry, I know that you said that you wear them as well. But
They
when I
look better on you, though.
thanks, I'm sure that you look pretty groovy in them too.
Oh, yeah, but you look better.
But you need to wear them. We'll compare. When I had my first stroke, it was a right occipital stroke. So of course, that impacted my vision. And one of the things that I expressed to Amy, thank you, um, thank you, Stephen. Do I have an accent? Um,
Yeah, anyway, Tara.
that was one thing that when I went to Canada and spent my summers in Canada every summer, they would talk about my accent.
You didn't go to the right place in Canada then. We wouldn't be talking too much.
Talking about Ontario. But that was one of the things that I talked to Amy about this past Monday, actually yesterday, was when I am riding in the car. And of course, I'm 15 months out. Sorry about that, guys.
Oh, I thought dinner was ready.
They've acclimated to how scared I am riding in the car. It can be my perception is so different now. I am really scared being in a car. Of course, I can't drive, thank God. But when I'm traveling, my perception is things are a lot more close. So that's one thing that we are working on in therapy. If I see brake lights or anything, whether it's straight ahead or if a truck or car is coming from either direction, I feel like it is a lot closer than what it is. So I do my therapy, my vision therapy, 12 weeks at a time, and then go back for a follow up. Dr. Lott reevaluates my progress. It is absolutely amazing at the progress I've made. I can remember when I first, even 6 months out, just how frightened at everything around me I was. So, baby steps. That therapy has just been, for me, life changing. And I know that this is another thing that I expressed to Amy yesterday that is really frustrating, that doesn't even impact me like myself, but for us as a stroke community. I know that I talk about this show because it has made such a difference for me, and I think for all of us. I talked to you, Jerry, last week because I didn't think that I was going to be able to make this show, but a young lady reached out to me on my Instagram and asked me about these glasses. And it's so frustrating that there's not more awareness about certain therapies.
Right.
And education. She had a right occipital stroke as well. She's a nurse.
Yeah.
And she had no information about prisms, about the therapy that I'm undergoing now. She lives in Kansas City. And it's just so unfortunate that, I speak about the show so much in my everyday life and in therapy, and advocate for this show, um, because it's like you get to a certain point and you're kind of pushed, like, okay, you're fine.
Yeah.
Um, and there does need to be more of, um, there needs to be more awareness.
Right. Right.
What happened to Jerry?
What did he do?
There he
What-
is.
what-
Jerry,
what's the other-
oh, I was about to be upset. We lost you.
I would never leave you,
And I,
sweetheart.
I like to see
I don't know.
you.
Yeah.
And
Please
so
go on.
these therapies are so important, whether they're needed for a month or 10, 15 years,
Yeah.
or whether they're needed for, whether emotionally we can stand them for 6 months, we have to step away and, excuse my language, but just we get frustrated and have to kick a wall and take a step back and have a pity party, because I know that I've had them.
Yeah. Yeah. It's okay to have them.
Wrong with that language. There's nothing wrong with that language.
No,
You
I was
said the
waiting
F
for-
word, frustrating.
I was waiting for
Yeah.
something drastic.
I was expecting something worse than frustrating.
Yeah,
All right.
see, I can do
Well,
worse than that.
right.
You
And
country girls, you're different. I'll tell you that. Just,
well,
yeah.
um,
See us around the bar sometimes. No.
yeah. But that's what's so wonderful. This is a therapy.
Yeah. Yes.
You really need to look at it. This is our therapy.
It is mental therapy.
Right.
Being
Absolutely.
connected. And I think that's, yes, there's physical, but the mental health side that we always forget about is so big.
Mm-hmm.
Tara,
Absolutely.
when
Yes,
it comes to your glasses, okay? Can I come back to them again?
absolutely.
With my glasses, they're clear, right? Does the red do something to your eyes too, or just your personal preference?
That's a wonderful question. So the color on them.
Yeah.
Okay, so the light bothered me so bad. So that's the only thing. And now that I have found, the light still bothers me. It's almost like, whoa. But now I've gotten a lot better, actually. It's almost in certain situations a hindrance. Actually, I have to, in certain situations, really focus a little bit more, because, or have like a brighter light on, so to speak, so I can read. But it still helps me because the brightness bothers me.
Yeah, I have to. If I can tolerate the light, but I prefer it much darker.
Right.
Like-
But I will tell you, this left eye is wonky. When I had my first stroke, it doesn't even feel like it belongs to me. I love it. I'm glad that I have it. I'm so thankful that I still have my sight.
Yeah.
But it feels foreign. And I have nystagmus, which is the rapid movement and the double vision.
Isn't that annoying?
It is.
Oh,
And there are times when I can't even open that eye. So now I have to go see a neuro-ophthalmologist to follow up, and I'll get another pair of glasses because I need prescription lenses.
Yeah.
So
Steve, real quick.
I'm going to get another snazzy pair
Yeah.
of glasses, but
Taylor?
maybe not so dark. I'm sorry.
Oh, no. I was just saying a lot of questions were asked regarding Tara. Where are you located? Then John says, you're located in Mississippi. If so, what part?
I didn't know we could ask personal questions here, Jerry. I'd be asking a whole bunch.
Okay. So I grew up in Pearl, Mississippi, which is a suburb of Jackson, Mississippi.
There you go.
And Jackson is the capital of Mississippi.
Aha.
You can ask me whatever you want to.
That's what I always say.
I am a talker.
Yeah.
No, really? You're a talker?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
No,
That
that's
was a
all
good
right.
one. That was a good
And
one.
now I have this new job.
Oh,
And
how's that going?
y'all, I'm so excited.
That's right.
I'm so excited. It's going fabulous. And I get to go and have my first meeting today. I really am just so blessed.
Wow.
Things just fall into place. You know, I was having a really difficult time. I've never really, I think I've interviewed for like 2 jobs in my entire life. I worked for like the same. I've really never really job hopped.
Wow.
So I was always like a shared employee. And so my background is ER and burn nursing. And
Yeah.
you know, I write an article and for Dark Horse Press, and Trez Apel is she's a dear friend and just my angel. And I'm going to write an article about how this job really just fell in my lap. And I was really struggling because really I could pick up the phone and say, hey, can I come and work? And I never had any problem. Like, I remember one day, and I wrote about this, I picked up the phone one day and said, hey, I'm looking for a job. And the lady on the other end said, great, when can you start? And I said, but there's a twist. I have 2 other people that are looking for jobs too. And before I hung up the phone, I had a job for another nurse in ICU and a nurse manager position for the other friend.
Wow.
And right. So basically a 5-minute conversation turned into 2 other people having jobs. And I never realized that it would be so difficult. And one day I just realized, wow, I never thought that my phone wouldn't ring, you know? So here I am talking again.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, right.
Take it over. So really one day let me tell you what my job is.
Yeah.
So I am working for the Burn Foundation of America, and I am the Mississippi Program Development. So I'm basically going to start small. Okay, if I do anything small. Linda and Steve are absolutely amazing, and I think I basically tried to talk briefly about this, but I'm going to write about this because this is just God. I had planned to be completely transparent, and I met with Linda. I basically emailed Linda and I said, "Hey, I've known her for years, working in Burns, and emailed Linda and said, "Hey, do you have anything in the Jackson market?" And she was like, "I'm gonna be there next week." And so I kind of panicked because you have these. You guys know you have good days and bad days, right?
Oh, yeah.
There are some days.
They're all bad days.
Come on. Well, when you're having a bad day, you just need to shoot me an email because we're going to get through it together.
Oh,
Okay.
awesome. Yeah.
We are going to get through this together because I'm going to tell you something.
Feel like I'm going to get hit now.
I have bad days too. And that's one thing that like with Muson, I have children and I have just had a time, like that's one thing that just kind of, I was like, whoa,
It's
I
rough.
was on such a high with like just being cradled by God, right? And I call it brain sick. I was so brain sick from that second stroke, from that left frontal lobe stroke, because it changes everything about you, right? Like I was this loving, bubbly fixer, everything's going to be fine, to just this.
Miserable. No.
I think you're still the same. You're pretty bubbly still. But
Absolutely.
I understand. I mean, I was like that too. So outgoing, very social. But yeah, it's definitely changed me, and that's something that
Right,
I'm still trying to learn. And I'm going, I'm still doing my therapy, mental
right.
therapy, counselor, and everything. I
Well,
still have to do that.
I do it twice a week. And it's so important, right? Because you have to take care of yourself. You have
Yeah,
to. And because it's so life changing, right?
it is,
Like,
especially when you have kids. Oh my goodness.
Very true.
because they don't
Yeah, it's just another dynamic that you have to kind of understand the boundaries of like the attachment issues that you felt like you're kind of losing and stuff. It's very difficult to understand when you have
right,
little ones. But
right. And of course,
it's
your
constant.
children are younger, right?
Yeah, they're really young. Yeah, 5.5, 7, and 10.
Right.
Yeah.
So they don't really, of course, your two younger ones, they really don't understand. And
No, they do, but they don't. Yes,
right. And that's hard. That's hard.
very hard.
But
So hard. I always say that's harder to be aware of that, and the thought of like the attachment being less is harder than the stroke recovery. I've always said that.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And that's something that I imagine tugs at your heart.
Every day, every
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
A-
And I don't know. I know one thing that is a constant with you is you say I love you on here, and I know that's genuine.
yeah, I do love everybody here. It's a hell
And
of a
right. And that's one thing that you just have to that's one thing you have to lean on that, because this community will give you the support that you need,
yeah,
even if it's not right here, like none of us are right here with you, like right sitting next to you, but we're here with you.
oh, I
And
understand. I feel that. I feel
yeah,
that.
right.
I do 100%.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, I have to set some mental boundaries about like how I'm really feeling, and it's part of my therapy too, because it's the severity. When we talk about severity, like if you have children or anything that's around you, that your external environment, you have to be aware of that severity about like how you're going to react to that, and it's a constant battle. It's part of the journey and the therapy that you have to like discover on your own, because you don't know how it's going to hit you.
Right.
It's going to hit you so hard on your heart that it can break you.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I can remember one night, and it wasn't just one night, but I was so sick in my brain, so sick. And I'll just say trigger warning because it's for anybody. And I am a Christian, but I wrote about this. I have not had a lot of family support, which is devastating.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, that is tough.
I go ahead and get my tissue. Why am I the only one that gets a tissue and wiping my nose every time I pop on here? But I can remember vividly sitting outside one night, and I could see myself hanging from the basketball goal.
Hmm. And it's okay to be emotional.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yes, that's why we're here, Tara.
What, did I upset you? I didn't mean to.
Oh no,
Everybody else here, yes, but not you.
I just it's those memories of knowing how different I was during that time.
Yeah, I understand.
You know what those memories do? They make you stronger.
Oh yeah,
They make you much stronger, you know? Like, you're probably much better toughness wise now, aren't you?
I think so.
Yes.
I think so. I
There's that old saying, what don't make you, it doesn't break you, makes you stronger.
makes you stronger. You know, I remember I was completely aware, which was, you know, I can laugh about it.
Well, you're not
It's
doing much laughing now. I want
what
a smile on your face right now.
what was so hard is that that's how sick I was. I can recall feeling the hand of God pulling me, like,
Yeah.
and I know that some people don't, and that, you know, that's one thing. I love everybody. Like, I love everybody.
Yeah.
Um, but if you believe, it's such an odd um, time that I went through where it was, I call it a slippery slope. And to be able to visualize yourself and actually seeing yourself in that moment.
Excuse me, but I'm not trying to be smart. I'm just trying to understand, okay, Tara?
Yeah, ask
See
me
yourself in what moment?
actually physically hanging
Hanging and hanging from what?
from a basketball goal.
Okay.
And it showed me how sick I was And I think in that moment, I knew how hard I needed to work to get back to myself. I did not have any support. I had support from Brian and my boys, the best that they knew. But at that time, we didn't know. You know, I think that I discussed a little bit. We didn't know that I had that second stroke. We didn't
No.
have a diagnosis. They just thought. I think everybody just thought I was crazy. I knew something was wrong. And I kept on saying, y'all, something's wrong. Something is wrong, which just made it so much worse because I was struggling mentally. And so the only person I really had to talk to was God.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
Nothing's wrong with that. I believe in God. Strike
Nothing.
me if I don't believe in God.
Nothing. Because that was my compass
But yeah, just
to get out of that.
because, and if you believe in God, that's fine. You can. People don't like the way you're talking about God, then screw them, right?
Yeah.
It's them that's going to fry in freaking hell because they don't believe. You'll be up there, and you're trying to make your life better. You
Yeah.
can't do any much better than that, right? And
Right.
where I see all three of you are doing it, are you're spreading sunshine, giving support to everybody.
Right.
But anybody who doesn't like to help themselves is their own problem, right?
Yeah.
They want the old, how sorry it is for me. Screw them. There's people out there. There's people out there, right? Is this offending you, my language?
No.
Good.
Did I say that I started off in the ER?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I know you're going to get personal there, Tara. I'm sorry.
There's real quick. Joe A. Says to me, I have a question. So after 13 years, your leg is still not strong enough to wear an AFO. But 13 years ago, I broke. Well, no, 13 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I was not wearing the AFO. Then I broke my hip, so that's why I'm in it. Just thought I'd clear that one up. But yeah, the biggest part of the whole thing to me, not only just walking like a penguin or whatever, is the mental part of this.
Yeah.
You got to stay. What works for me is keep busy. Otherwise, I sit here and I'm not. Then things just pop in my head, and that's what I think. But everybody is different, and that's what I thought.
Plus the help thing, right?
What's that?
If something doesn't work for you, for the therapy part, there's other things that can help you, right? You're just not, well, I'm done with that. Health, everything. And no, just get back on your high horse.
Yeah.
Get up in the morning, put the two legs on the ground or in your wheelchair. Who gives a thing?
I think we get very resourceful and desperate in a sense of like trying to explore and finding out, hey, what's going to help you? You just keep doing that no matter what.
Yeah. What's going to help
you? Every day I think about that. Every
trying
day.
Or not
I
trying?
think we all do,
Trying
We're
or not
always trying to try everything that we can. Because we are, in a sense, we're in despair. We're in despair to try to figure out how we're going to get better. And if this doesn't work, what else are we going to try next? And if that doesn't work, what's next?
Yeah.
Yeah, good one.
And it's kind of like, Jerry, you're back in therapy. And it's like after all these years, you're back in therapy because you want to try something different or something new or just want to get better.
I want a tune-up.
Okay, a tune-up. There you go.
Yeah.
What?
No. Yeah, because I didn't
All of a sudden we're talking about cars now. What the hell, Jerry?
Everything all these years,
Yeah.
15 years in, you've tried everything that we could possibly imagine. I'm sure of it. You know.
You got a purple tinge in your hair, Tara?
Purple tinge? No. Maybe it's the lighting.
It
I
looks
think
nice.
I tried that. After
Yeah.
my stroke, I thought I wanted to live on the wild side.
Right, girl. Yeah.
And I don't know what I thought about it.
You
I have
like,
a little red tinge to it.
you like high heels and stockings and everything?
You know, maybe here and there.
Oh, good.
But I'm a little clumsy, so I try to
Nothing wrong with that.
I try to stay with the tennis shoes and the flats. So I might snazz it up a little bit and try to be a little more professional for my presentation today. See, I'm used to scrubs and tennis shoes because I'm used to being full speed ahead, running upstairs, but I don't think I'm gonna be in scrubs anymore. So, but that's all right.
You
Yeah.
see what you're doing now?
For
What
what
are
I'm
you doing
doing,
now?
I'm
You're
gonna be
smiling now.
I'm
You're
gonna
smiling.
be professional. So
Professional smiler. Okay.
that's right. I try to always be smiling.
Yes.
You
Got
know.
a great smile.
And you do awesome. Listen, Musung, I'll stick to the compliments, sir. You just stick with smiling back. There we go.
Right.
All
But
right.
I really do. You guys are
Wait, well, it's all smile. Jerry
you
smile.
guys are wonderful. Y'all just really don't know how y'all have helped me because it's been tough.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt.
It really has.
Oh yeah.
Was it
And I
been a
think,
2-year
Jerry, when
sentence?
we were talking about before the show, when you said the word lifetime, the severity of that scares the shit out of me. Pardon my French.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
I-
this is a lifetime journey. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
the idea of that. I'm not going to say that.
No, I know what
I
you're
don't
saying, but I've
It's a
seen some.
trigger. It's a
I've seen
trigger.
improvements. I've seen a lot of improvements, but so it's a lifetime. That's what I'm going to be just dealing with. I mean, but it doesn't bother me. I'm just gonna keep pushing forward, and
Yeah.
that's just how I feel. You know, everybody has their own feelings, but
Yeah.
to me, it
They
really,
do.
yeah. I mean, I would have thought that 2 years post stroke, I wouldn't have thought. You know, I'm going to be brand new in 3 years or something. Oops.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there's been improvements. If you look back, that's why I videotaped some, thinking, wow, I'm jumping in a pool and not pretty, but
I'll say.
you'll say. But
No.
so
There's a feeling with having a stroke. I don't know, all of a sudden you have a stroke and you go like any injury. Give me some rehab time. I'll be back in 6 months, in a
absolutely.
year type thing. But that doesn't happen in most cases. So that's where all the mental anguish comes from.
Yes.
Is well, how come I'm not getting 100%? And with stroke and aphasia, I don't think there is such thing as a total.
Yeah, and you're not trying to be
No,
like-
you can't be 100% better, but you can be as good as you can be. And this ain't an army commercial, but just if
You
that
know
makes
what? There's a lot of truth in that, but I'm gonna tell you something. One thing that I try to think about, and I don't know, this is not the right way, but one thing that I try to think about, and I know that I am so fortunate, especially after 2 strokes, right?
yeah,
I mean, 2 strokes. But I try to think about when I went to Methodist rehab, and I remember going there and thinking about all the people that required complete and total care. And none of us here today require that. None of us require complete care. Let that sit with each of us right now.
Yeah.
Some of us may require care. Yes, I require care. I have to ask Brian to help me with things, simple things. And that's humbling.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And if you ask somebody, they would say, Tara doesn't need any help. Because if you look at me and talk to me,
That's
you would never think that.
yeah, absolutely.
But I do require some level of care.
Yeah, and I get the comment from my wife, which totally understand. I don't know why I do it. Can you get me the whatever it is? She goes, you got 2 feet. You need to get up and do it yourself. And she's right. So my pills. Can
Lazy
you get me
bastard.
can you get me a water or because I'm gonna take my pills. I should. Why am I doing that? I've probably been so used to doing that, and so
Right.
I catch myself. But
Right.
You know what comes around goes around though.
yeah.
Like I've had one weird 4-year period of stuff. I had my brain kicked the crap out of. I had my heart surgery, and then my wife, God bless her, she just got over the reckless bit of cancer,
Mm-hmm.
and she helped me through mine, and I tried to do what I could for her. But it all comes around, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure if your better half, Brian, had problems and anything you could do to help,
Oh,
you'd be there
without
with
a doubt.
bells on, wouldn't you?
Without a
Yeah.
doubt.
And
Without
that's
a
what it's
doubt.
all about, And I'm not going to curse anybody. I never curse my wife. She's my angel, even
Yeah.
though I flirt like crazy, but she's my angel. And
Yeah.
yeah, so and just whatever comes around goes around. And
Yes.
Yeah.
And one thing, like you said, what that's important, that's so important. One thing that I have found, if you can give, if you can find something that feeds your soul and keeps you fed, and that's one thing that I'm gonna do. That's one thing, like with my new job, there's something I have always loved taking care of burn patients. I there's just something I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Just like I have found my community, I have found my people, and that's what I told Amy, my therapist. It's like the first time that I came across this show, like I told you last week, Jerry, it was Aubrey and Musong on there, and I was like, oh my gosh, I found my people. This feeds me, feeds my soul. If you can find something, even if it's something one time a day, like giving somebody a compliment, just a random person, that will make you feel better. But one thing, when you are feeling down, okay, cuss the wall if that's what makes you feel better, but reach out to one of us.
Mm-hmm.
Don't struggle alone.
Yeah. That's well said. Well said.
We've all been there,
Yeah.
and we're all having those moments still.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we do. I think that's one of the things. Like, it's hard to like just reaching out because you don't want to. You at times you just like don't want to bother people. You know what I mean? But sometimes you don't want to. You just can't do it alone. It's not possible or healthy to do this alone, and you do have to reach out. And I suck at it. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you, I suck at reaching out sometimes because you just don't want to. I don't know. Just
You don't want to be a bother.
You've
Yeah,
got
you
to
don't want
get
to
over
bother.
that in your head because it's not a bother, because we have those same struggles. You have to realize that, like for me, I try to keep it from my family because
Yeah.
it's you get to a point where you don't want to intrude on you know, it's like, do I say anything? Do I like, you know, I'm 15 months out now, you know, and it's been real heavy on them, you know. So sometimes I suffer in silence.
Yeah.
And it's not to say that they don't want me to say anything, but it's like, so we have to learn that we are a community,
That understands each other.
right? So it's not a bother.
Mm-mm.
And I think that's why we're all here, because we understand, like, there is no judgment about anything that we say or do.
Right.
There's no judgment because we understand what everybody's going through.
Yes.
This family and this community, just, you know, we totally understand each other no matter
Right.
what,
Yeah.
because we all had a stroke, and that's
Right.
no one else could even remotely understand what we're going through. That's why there's no judgment in this type of environment.
Exactly.
That's what I love about it.
Yeah. Same here. Same here. Well, again, I appreciate you guys being there, and Tara, last minute. I
Yeah.
thank you. I saw the email late, but Muson and Jerry and me, thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
I love you guys.
Yeah,
I
same
love
here.
you
You
too.
too.
Have fun at your job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
I'll
Yeah.
tell y'all all about it next time.
Please
All right.
do, and again, reach out if you have anybody wants to chit chat. We're all here for each other.
Absolutely.
All right, see you guys.
Y'all take care.
Yeah.
And y'all are
Right.
awesome.
Yeah, and
Love and hugs, everybody.